Asked Tony, you said in one of, oh, here we go. Oh. You said in one of your videos that the atheist cannot account for emotions and conscience. Oh, okay. Sure. The reason, and I'll try not to take too long.
7:06.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
The reason the atheist cannot account for these things is because in an atheistic worldview, the only things that exist are that which are material, okay, for one. Secondly, if they are consistent with their stand on Darwinian evolution, that and the idea that we're all ultimately stardust that evolved over time in some primordial ooze, and we became fish, and then turtles, and then monkeys, and then humans. Now, I know that's a crass way of putting all of that, and there are a lot of gaps in what I just said. But the reality that we simply evolved out of dust, then we have no purpose. If you take a bottle of Coke, and you Pepsi drinkers, I love you. I don't understand you, but I love you. If you take a bottle of Coke and you take a bottle of Sprite and you shake them up and you take off the caps, which one, and they both fizz, which one is right? Which one is wrong? Well, neither are right, neither are wrong. There's no morality in fizz. They're just chemical reactions. They're just fizzing. And so in the absurd worldview without God, that's what they're left with. There is no purpose. There is no design. There is no reason for being. Emotions are simply chemical reactions. Morals are simply chemical reactions. They're neither right nor wrong. And anyone in a godless worldview that would assert morality, that something is right or something is wrong, is doing so entirely based on their arbitrary opinion, which has no authority and no binding on anyone else, because everyone else's opinion is valid. Everyone else's opinion is arbitrary. Murder isn't right. Murder isn't wrong. Murder just is. Sexual immorality isn't right. Sexual immorality isn't wrong. It just is. We're just chemical reactions. And so they can't account for a conscience that says this is right and this is wrong, because they operate from a position of absurdity. The reality is that every atheist, like every Christian, knows the difference between right and wrong, because their conscience is God-given. Their conscience isn't the result of some chemical reactions that are meaningless. Their conscience is given to them by God, because they were created in the image of God. And as image bearers of our Creator, God has written His law on our heart. Okay? So the Christian can account for morality, can account for emotion, can account for what is immaterial. The atheist can account for logic, can account for reason, because these things are immaterial. You can't go to the refrigerator and get a pound of logic. You can't go to the cupboard and pull out 5 ounces of the law of non-contradiction. The laws of logic are universal. The laws of logic are immutable. The laws of logic are not arbitrary. Laws of logic all reflect the character of the God who is logical. And so that's why the Christian can account for these things. So I hope that helps.